What's going on, y'all? Episode 46, y'all. We have another special guest for y'all tonight. We have Eunique, who's going to teach us everything we need to know about real estate, how to get started, how to invest, and just pretty much just get into the real estate game, because right now, it's the hottest topic right now. So, without further ado, introduce yourself to the people.
And welcome to the pull-up experience.
Thank you, guys. As y'all can see, I'm not working here, guys. I'm trying to do my best.
One more thing before we get started. We have a special guest host.
Yes.
Coach Ari is with us today.
Yes.
She's filling in for Marquita, and hopefully she'll be stepping in from time to time to give us some jewels, drop us some jewels, and help out with the podcast. So, welcome, Coach Ari.
Hey, y'all.
All right, and we want to hear from Eunique. Eunique, tell everybody about who you are and what you're doing out here in Cleveland.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I flip properties. I recently started a rental portfolio. I recently started a women's investment group.
Oh, awesome.
So, really, I feel like I'm getting started, but I already started. Like, I have a long list of things that I want to do. So... yeah, that's what I do.
So, flipping properties. Can you explain to the people what flip? Because I know years ago, flip used to mean getting a house, not doing much to it at all, and then just reselling it for a higher amount. But now, people invest into the homes and they increase the value by renovating the homes. Is that what you do? You renovate the homes?
So I renovate homes in middle class suburban areas. So a lot of my houses I did in Warrensville Heights. I grew up there, so I just wanted to redo that area. I've never really just
That's
okay. Oh, okay. I've never really just went in a house and like really did little to nothing. Like I can't even think of a time where that was even possible when I got started. So I've been doing this. This was my 5th year. So my first house, literally, we did everything from start to bottom. It was terrible, right? Because I didn't know anything. I just jumped in the game trying to do it. But literally, we did everything. We did kitchens, bath, finished the basements. Anything that could have went wrong went wrong.
That is
so, literally, tore down walls. We did the whole house. I think the only thing we didn't do was a roof.
Oh wow! So let's go back to the beginning, because we know you are your 5th year in. Let's start with the very beginning. What made you even start to get into renovating properties?
So I had graduated college. I got a job at PNC Bank. Moved my way up into the corporate world, and then I ended up in a foreclosure department. So I just learned all about the value of property, how to evaluate a property. I learned about how the loan structure went because I was literally like training everybody in the modification department. So what a modification is generally you're just saying like, I can't afford to pay my mortgage amount for whatever reason. I need help. Can you help me? And depending on your circumstances and your income, the bank will lower your payment and your interest rate. So I knew nothing about that, but that was fascinating to me to see all these people that don't look like us, but they can just call in and say, my payment was $1,000. I don't even want to pay $200, right? And we used to literally underwrite these loans.
Wow.
And they didn't really have hardships. Like I would be looking at their bank statements like, but you just spent $1,000 at Macy's last month, right? So
Wow.
I just learned a lot doing that, and I'm like, I need to own some real estate. So with that, and I used to literally eat, sleep, HGTV. Like that's all I did was have HGTV on. I just knew
I love it too.
I was gonna work with Jonathan, like the Property Brothers, like ultimate favorite show. So I already had a huge passion for design. So all of that led me into like I gotta get my first deal.
That's enough. I had no idea it was going down like that. Really,
and it still goes down like that. They've put a lot of rules and regulations in place where it's not as easy to do it. But I used to tell people that anybody that I knew in the house, I used to like call in and get your payment lower. This is what you need to do. Boop, 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 and get it done.
So does that count against your credit when they do
No.
that?
Not if you're continuing to make your payments until it's done. So the process can take anywhere from 60 days to 6 months, depending on how slow the bank is.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of people through the pandemic, they called and got extensions, or
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people put them on their back end, but you know, the modification would have been the appropriate thing to do, but we just don't know about it. It's like so much stuff we
when you
just
don't know.
don't even know about it. And we can like, I can talk on and on about stuff we don't know, but like
that you can take advantage
Right,
of,
like,
that can
you just,
save you from, you know, possibly losing
like,
your home.
so I didn't know
That's-
nothing about
that's
real estate.
crazy.
Like I come from a very poor family, right? When I say poor, it ain't like we wasn't eating, but I grew up on Union. So my father did own his house, but it wasn't like they were investing or anything like that. So I literally just learned it.
So when you say that you did your first home, when did you get your first home first? From that process that you just explained to us until you started actually investing, learning more, and then investing, how long of a period was it before you got your first home from that?
So just soaked up all the knowledge I could by working at the bank. I was like, I know I need real estate, but I don't have enough money. How do I get the loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just graduated, right? I'm working, I'm making a good amount, but I still don't know how to get the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up my 401k account. I'm like, I'm ended up my 401k account, and you know, people were trying to talk me out of it. They're like, that's a terrible thing to do, because you know, that's what we know. We know that we're supposed to work until we're 65 and then get that little money when you're done. So I think the first house was like $30,000 or whatever, and it was on the street off of Warrensville Center, and I bought it. I didn't have all the money to renovate it though, so I talked my father into going into his 401k account to give me some money to renovate it. So ran from contractor to contractor, just so many things. It's like one of the biggest issues in the business. But it's part of the business. I feel like any business have its ups and downs. The contractor part is just an issue. So finally got it done. Probably made about $20,000 off the first house.
Nice.
Took like 6 months. Should have took about 60 days, but we got it done. From there, I just kept reinvesting. Literally, kept reinvesting.
So I want to touch on the 401k situation just for a second, and I know that, you know, a lot of people believe absolutely don't do that under any circumstances, but my belief is that if you have a plan, such as yourself, if you have a plan and you're basically reinvesting the money, you're not just taking out the money just to blow it and go to Vegas and kick it and have a good time. You are taking out the money because you have a plan. We don't always know if the plan is solid. You know, we are jumping out there, you know, to do things sometimes, but you know, you do have to invest into yourself, and sometimes that's the only way. You know, you have that money stacked up, and it's a loan, so you're gonna be paying it back when you're working. You're gonna be paying it back, but it's the interest rate is super low on it. And it is. I want everybody to know that is an option. Like if you're, don't jump out there if you don't have a solid plan. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
We're not going into our 401ks to do like start a business.
Right.
I think for me, I try to encourage everybody that I know that like real estate really is like one of the safe investments. I'm not gonna say flipping is, because you can go bankrupt, right, if you don't know what you're doing. That's why I tell people to get a mentor. But just investing in real estate is like one of the safest investments. Everybody with money do it. Like we are just so foreign to it. Like they have stocks and they have real estate, and we see what's going on with the stock market right now. It's going down. Real estate is going up. It's going up, and it's going to continue to rise. So I missed like a key component of that, which was the reason why. Another reason why I ended up emptying out my 401k was because I had already bought my primary residence, so I had got a loan to do that. Okay. And that was back in the day where your student loan debt counted against you. So they wasn't going to approve me for another loan. I had too much debt. Pretty much on my credit report, I had like $70K in student loans. I had a house. I had a car payment. So I wasn't going to get another loan the traditional way. That's the only way that I knew. Right, that was the only way that I knew back then. So that's another reason why I had to go into my 401k. But I tell people now, like, if you have money in your 401k now, like, you should be buying investment properties. At the very least, you should own your primary residence. Like, in 2022, there should be no reason why we're not owning real estate. Like, I can't even understand it.
So I want to take some time out, guys, because we already jumped off the episode. You already hitting us with the uppercuts. I like how how you pretty much laid out the framework for greater financing, because everyone knows the typical way to get a home, get a loan, go through a bank, cool. Well, what she's saying is you can buy properties. I'm not saying wholesale, because I don't want to get into wholesale retail, but it's on another subject another day, right? But what she did, she took her 401k, guys, and she brought a property, and she used the money from that and other monies to do the renovation. To reinvest, exactly. And like she said, real estate, I know firsthand, real estate can change lives, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to that too. If you do it right, and then like you said, you get a mentor, you get someone who can show you, it's all great from there or whatnot. So I want to get into that. So you went from property one, you said you took the money from that and you reinvested. So let's go back to the beginning. So I know, as everyone knowing real estate knows, that contractors are they're difficult to vet.
Good ones are far in between.
Exactly.
If you have a good team, and I'm definitely going to touch on that. I'm sorry.
No, you did. So let me ask you, how did you start vetting out the contractors that you use for your projects going forward?
I have been through anything that you can think of, like a contractor. Like, I took one to court. Literally anything that you can think of, I've been through with a contractor. Even today, I don't trust none of them. Like, I have met guys who got the job done and they show up, but I don't trust any of them. Like, it's just, so for me now, I definitely have like a long checklist that I look for as far as like things that they've done. I definitely try not to use anybody new. And I don't want to say like I can't, right? But, my own trust issues with contractors. And, just that whole part of running their business for me, and it's not even a white or black thing, because I've used white and black contractors. It's like the hairdressers, right? You got some hairdressers you're going to go to and they're going to have you in there for 12 hours. And then you go to your next hairdresser who you hopefully use her. Like, now I go in there and she get me in and out. It's just the management of the business piece they don't have together. So the vetting process I feel like it just comes with experience and knowing to look for.
Right.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like, you need a mentor. It's not like negotiable.
Right.
I wish 5 years ago when I started, I wish I had somebody I could call. Now you go on Instagram, you can see everybody like, oh, buy my course, do this, right? Like, now you can like find them everywhere, but I was begging people trying to teach me the game, like, please help. Couldn't find nobody, especially it being a male-dominated industry. Like, they don't take us seriously for one. Like,
I'm gonna ask you, that's one last question, because like, how do you navigate that? Because I'm a real estate agent, and I see it all the time. It's like when women go to see a mechanic, and the mechanic's gonna charge you extra for the piece as you would, what I'm saying, for myself or whatnot. So how do you navigate that?
I think I don't really have a passive personality to begin with, so I'm really not intimidated. I'll speak up. Like, if I feel like you're trying to overcharge me, I know what stuff costs. So I think it's just knowing. So like, I talk to like all the women who want to get started. Like, it's possible, you can do it for sure. It's just knowing what to look for, knowing what comes with the job. Is definitely hands on, especially when you're getting started. You can't. They make it look good on Instagram. Everything. Like, oh, you could just. I meet so many women who buy properties here from out of state, from other states, and I don't want to get off topic, but it's just something like, when you're getting started, like, it's going to be another business. It's not like a part-time job. It's a business that you're running. You need to be there every day. So
Steve, drop the bomb, Steve.
Yeah, when I talk to girls, they be like, oh, well, I want to flip the house, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I have the money. okay, are you going to be committed to going there every day?
Mhm.
You got to be there every day.
Checking on
Because
everything.
if you go there 2-3 days from now, something could go wrong. They might not
you
be
didn't even
there.
catch it.
They done put the tile gonna flow on the walls. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be there every day.
So, all right, I want
Wait,
You
one
gotta
quick
be there every
question.
day.
While
It's not
she-
a
not
part-time
really a
job.
question, but just a statement. As far as the contracting goes, and I'm glad that you brought that issue up because I want our youth to know that there's more than just college. That might not be your way.
And
You
we can
know,
talk about that too. Like, I
entertainment
wish
and
I
whatever
would've
you're
never
trying to
went
get
to
into.
college.
I feel
That's
like
the
the
whole
trade market, the trade, learning a trade, especially right now for the last few years, you can basically write your own ticket.
Absolutely.
You make your own schedule.
Yeah.
You write your own ticket. Just think about a female, like Eunique, who needs someone. She cannot. It's nothing else she can do. She absolutely has to pay for this service. Think about females that, whether they're single or whether their husband is just not handy, they have to look on Google or they have to look up a number and call someone, and they have whatever price they put out there. They can look around, but 9 times out of 10 they have to pay for it, and it's a very lucrative field. Trades, auto mechanic, carpenters, plumbers, electricians. Electricians right now they're making starting at 100,000. You know, and it's like, you know, it's a lot of the children just don't know enough about it, and they just think college. Yeah.
But it's all they're being told though too.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
that's
the right
what they're
path.
being taught. Exactly. But I want the teens, the everybody thinking about college, period. Grown ups, y'all too. Even inspecting houses, appraisal. You know, I used to be an appraiser. I loved it. I loved being on my own time and then getting that cash money in hand when you walk away from the job. You know, it's you got to think about that. When the housing crashed, I went back to work, and then I didn't have anybody to tell me, you know, put your license in escrow, and I worked hard. I wasn't just a residential appraiser. I appraised commercial. I had my certification. So all I had to do was get a commercial signature. So I was appraising buildings and everything. And it's one of the things that I really regret, you know, because you can do that at any time. Money not right, let me go do this house real quick, you know? So yeah, it's serious business with trades. And I just want, you know, people that are looking to start their own business, you can start your business with that too. And hire somebody to subcontract up under your license and get that money. It's a lot to it. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
And I don't want to say that I regret going to college. Just to be clear, I think it's necessary for our community if we don't have a plan, and 9 times out of 10 we don't have a plan, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely, you form relationships, you learn discipline, and you nothing else, you learn how to stay organized. So, but when I say that, I think about like if I would have started real estate instead of going to college, how much further along in life could be now? Like it's crazy, but we don't talk about it enough. We don't do it enough, and we definitely don't have enough examples.
And it doesn't mean that you would never go back. Like the traditional route don't have to be okay. Right after high school, you go to college for 4 years plus, and then you go find a job. Like you said, like it could have been you learning real estate and you grinding, finding a trade. And then when you got a point where you felt like, you know, you wanted that extra education piece because you wanted to advance in other areas, like it's still there. But one thing you talked about was like with you being a female, like in a male dominated industry, like is that why you kind of like had that goal of more so empowering women in particular and having like a women's investment group because of your experiences within that, or what was your why behind that piece?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, when I started, everybody that I could talk to, it wasn't no women. Even now, I'm just now 5 years later connecting with other women in the business and women that are doing it. So it was definitely like I want to help other women do this because we can. Just, you know, going into it with the expectation. So when I say like it's a full-time job, but even the rental aspect for me, I was like, I don't want to do rentals because I want money fast. Like I want my $20,000 and I don't want $500 a month. But that was me at 29. Now I'm like, that $800 a month times 10, that don't sound bad, right?
Absolutely.
Because the flips, yeah, I'm definitely working for it, but again, even going back, how do I get it? Like, how do they get all these properties? Still learning strategies that we're just not taught. So I think, again, there is so many avenues to get into real estate. You gotta just find which one works for you at the time, and then just do it. And like I said, if nothing else, just even own your property, because like I said, even with the values of property going up, rent's going up. I got houses in Maple where rent was $900. I charged them $1,450. Like, rent's going up, it's gonna continue to go up, and they say we're headed for a recession. Those are facts. So what that means is it's gonna affect us. It's going to affect middle class. It's going to affect lower middle class. People are going to lose their jobs. They're not going to be able to afford their rent. But I don't want to get off topic. But anyways, like,
speak on it.
Why we should be like, whatever you need to do to buy a house, and you know, people talk about it. Well, I don't want to buy. This is the things I heard about. Well, it's too high right now.
That's what I hear all the time.
It ain't going down.
It's not going down.
We're one of the last cities. You know what I'm saying? When you go out of town, it's expensive.
You can't.
Yes, it's not going back.
This is one of the cheapest places you can buy property.
Yeah.
Hence why there's no houses available. Or the investors are buying them.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
Yeah, like, it's not going down.
Because I get a DM all the time from out-of-town investors, and they're looking at the accounts that we have here versus the West Coast, the East Coast. I mean, even New York.
New York, they bring their money here. That one house, they go buy 5.
Right. We're dealing with a Canadian investor right now. He refinanced on the property he had up in Canada. He's able to pull, I think they pull out $300,000 from out of that refinance, and now he's coming here to Cleveland to buy 3 or 4 properties. And that's so crazy though. Like Big Business was on. I remember he had an episode earlier. He literally said coming to Cleveland was like stepping in a time machine. He said he couldn't believe that properties are for the amount that they are or whatnot.
Right, and he from Philly, so again, their income is like 4 times ours. Right. So yeah.
No, listen.
They made millions.
They made millions. You never lie, but you hit around those. You hit around those. And I think that unfortunately, for us as the people don't understand the value of home ownership, or not even just real estate as a whole. How you can do so many things. So I wanted to get into that. So as an investor, the person who specializes in strategy when it comes down to buying property, what do you recommend someone who's just starting out to start out? If I'm a newer, if I'm just starting out in real estate or I want to become an investor, what instructions would you give me to get started?
Number 1, you need to own your house. Like,
your own property, personal residence.
There's no reason why not. It was a time where you can 580 credit score. Like, credit, you got bad credit, you can still get it. You're gonna pay a higher interest rate. I think now it might have went up to maybe low 600s now, but even that is still obtainable. Clean your credit up. Don't go to the credit IG people. Literally just take your time to clean your credit up. It don't take that long to get in the 600s.
You're right. I mean, I get my proof. I get you proof of 580. Come holler at me though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you can get it down with 580. So if your credit score under 580, we need to be doing something about that immediately. Exactly. Right? We need to own our primary residence. Quit talking about the cost of the property because it's going up.
It's going up.
So then from there, then you just decide how active you want to be. You want to do flips. You want another full-time job. You want to replace the one you have. Do the flips. You need a mentor. So get your primary residence. It don't got to be me. It can be anybody. You need a mentor before you try to do a flip. And then if you want to do passive, there's plenty of rentals that we can find around the city.
That's good.
So what should people look for in a mentor specifically, right? Because there's a lot of people that say, oh yeah, I know how to do that, right? Like you said, on IG.
For 6 months.
Right, and on IG it looks good, but in reality, like they have nothing to bring to the table. So like,
I see that all the time, because I be like, I'm about to, I don't know, I'm not about to, because she don't even talk about what she do. I think the receipts, ask for them. People come to me, I can give you addresses, go look at it. I'm showing you how to look it up. This is what I did, this is how much money I made. This is how long I've been doing it.
Drop that bomb, Steve.
I'm asking for receipts. And if you telling me that you can't give me that and I'm in your business, then you're not the one for me. And just about how hands-on you're gonna be. Like for me, I take them with me. Like, y'all wanna go to the house with me today? Come on. Like when I'm in an active project, they can call me. I don't know how big that will get though. I don't know if I'm gonna be that hands-on, but the group that I have right now. So for me, it's just like your mentor. If they say this is what they do, ask for receipts. I don't want anybody mentoring me who ain't at where I'm trying to go.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And I don't want no mentor telling me what they did 30 years ago. Like, it need to be somebody who's
Relevant.
actively in the business right now.
Mhm.
They're saying about tactics back in 1970.
Yeah, like, I need to know, like, I don't want to know what you did was then 10 years
Right.
ago. Like,
Right.
teach me what's going on right now.
Right. Because things change.
So, yeah, so I think that's really what it is, just vetting them. Like, you can buy courses. Those courses, I feel like, if nothing, you get information from those courses. But, like, when you're paying somebody a lot of money, I think they need to be where you are. They need to be in the business and ask for the receipts. Show me.
No, that's good stuff, right?
Yes, definitely.
Cause I've been burnt with them courses. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, this 3-page course is literally just.
I done fell asleep reading it. How do I took the course and I still don't know how
Still
to
don't
do it.
know,
Right.
because they're gonna give you a bunch of general
Mhm.
information
Right.
and not the
You could probably
details
Google.
of
And I'm
exact-
not even
yeah.
knocking that, to be honest, because I do have an ebook and it's definitely general knowledge, but I feel like you have to know what you need to know, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm just beginning, I don't need to pay somebody $10,000 to go here. I need to learn the steps. Again, we have this notion just because of social media that we just gonna jump in the game and we're gonna have it all figured out. There's
Mhm.
definitely mentors for every level in life.
Mhm.
So the courses are fine, the ebooks are fine. You just have to know what the expectation is, what you're gonna get from it.
Yeah, if you're paying
So,
$10 for
yeah,
something, you
yeah.
can't expect that they're gonna
Right.
give you the.
And then, to be honest, like I think we gotta start just putting in the work.
Mm.
We take the courses and then don't do nothing.
Mm.
Literally. So holding yourself accountable.
So I had a question. So, like you said, you watch AGTV, and like we all know, you see the finished product. We don't see like the nitty gritty of it all. Tell us about a time where you were in renovations and you was like, this is not what I want to do, or this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, the first flip probably broke me down. I didn't even know if I was gonna do it after that. I'm like, this is tough. I had went in it like, I'm gonna get a sledgehammer and I'm gonna be doing this and I'm gonna be doing this. So I definitely was in there with pain in my hair, right? So I knew that I wanted to be that girl who was hands on, but like I said, just the contractors, they like got me time and time again. I was like, this was hard mentally to like just digest. People keep just not holding on to their word. So I was like, oh, you gotta be tough in this.
Right.
Like, this ain't
They're for the timid.
yeah, this ain't, and then that's when I tell people like, there's people that hire people to do this. Like, you have to have the money though.
Right.
So you can hire somebody to actively do this, right? But 9 times out of 10, we don't have the money. So you're
Right.
the one who's managing the project. You're really a project manager.
Right. There you go. I'm about to say.
But I don't know any other business where you can get compensated so heavily for managing the project. Because literally, I'm not really going in there now doing anything. I'm literally walking through.
Mm-hmm.
So you're compensated well for what you're doing. Just, you got to understand the business.
So let me ask you, what you say was the most rewarding part about what you do? So I mean, I know a lot of investors and they always say, well, I love the affordable housing I'm giving to people, which is, sounds good, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But in your opinion, what's the most rewarding part about what you do?
I'll touch on that a little bit. So for me, that was rewarding, just people telling me that I couldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
Just like I said, going to Warrensville, one of the last houses I did, it's the highest price home, not now, because we know the prices is out the roof now, but it was the highest house that has sold on the block in decades.
Wow.
They were like, you over renovating this house. Why you put so much money in here? And I'm like, because people that look like me, they want houses that look like this
Right.
too.
You helped increase the property value over there.
I for sure did.
I know you did.
People don't give me credit for it, but I did.
That's what's up.
I think I did, 4 houses over there? Yeah, but for me, so it was,
Hardballing.
I got the receipts if anybody want to come join my program. So for me, it was like, we want nice things too.
Yeah.
But I went into it because, like I said, my passion for design is what gets me through all of it, because I can go in a house and transform a space just in my head. So I think this was kind of like a gift for me, and I was like, oh, I'm actually using it.
Right.
Because even back before I had started real estate, I always like to decorate.
So,
But outside of that whole perspective, another rewarding part is I just feel like us as in black people, sometimes we just take further to get along in life.
Right.
And I
That's
feel
a fact.
like I finally figured out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
And
The purpose.
I tell people all the time, like, look, you ain't gotta like to decorate, you ain't gotta like to do none of that. But why don't you have a rental portfolio?
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
you can hire a property manager. So
Right.
it's a necessity. I'm gonna keep just saying it. Like, I wish somebody beat it in my head like that. Like,
Do you stage?
no. So I haven't had a high end property enough. I feel like that it was worth me doing that. But no, I don't do that.
So let me ask you this. So I know I got all the questions there.
I would love to do that.
So
I know you like the design. I
Yeah.
figured you might go.
So
in there
AGT
and
come
put it
holler at her.
together.
Y'all-
I thought about
y'all
like,
something.
so I thought about creating a staging business. Me and one of my friends who like to decorate it, we then bounce off ideas maybe one day, but I'm not doing it yet.
So I guess my question is, so let's say there's a young lady who's watching this episode right now, and she wants to come talk to you about mentorship. How she go about doing that?
So my Instagram is Eunique Nichole, EUNIQUENICHOLE. I think that's my name on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I don't have anything like as far as the mentorship program right now. I do one-on-one calls. I have like 20 girls in my group right now, and what we're doing is we're looking for a property to flip. So that's another thing. Like, some people, they want to get started, but it's the fear, right? I don't want to risk lose my 401k. I don't want to get a loan because I'm scared. Like 9 out of 10 women, they're just scared to invest their money. And I'm like, okay, this is a common conversation I have everybody talks to, but we're so good at saving money, we just don't know what to do with it. We're way better at saving money than men. Like, those are facts.
Those are facts.
Period.
We're way more organized with spending money than men, right? But we don't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, come to the table with 10 to 20,000, and we're gonna do something together. So like, the girls in my group, we ready. We just trying to find that deal that is big enough for us to be
all
profitable.
invest in
And
That's
then
dope.
the market just obviously is insane right now too.
Man.
We gonna get it done, but that's what we.
How has that been for you? Because I know that the market is, you know, people are selling their house in 12 hours. People are selling, you know,
Multiple
so I know,
offers.
yes. So how has that been with you looking for investment property? Is it a lot tougher or?
It's definitely a lot tougher. It's hard. It's hard to find a deal because of the prices. There's not a lot of room for the flip, and then on top of it, the competition with all the investors. They're here, they're buying up everything else, and then now you're even in competition with the homeowners. They're willing to pay way over because we're starting to understand the value. So it's definitely hard to get your hands on a deal. Resources, the wholesalers, the connections. You definitely want to have a list of those in your portfolio. But on the flip side, it's been good because again, the more the house go up, the more money we make. So, but it's definitely hard to find a deal right now.
So mention in this respects, I know a lot of people work with wholesalers, a lot of people have real estate agents they work with. What do you prefer? Do you like working with off-market deals, or you like going the retail route?
Both. I think I don't have a preference.